The last king we talked about was Nana Kwesi Kutuah I, Kwesi Kutuah I, which I said in the other video that he was the son of a chief in Brumiah Twum I. Kpanyinli was the father, and his original name, his native name was Kwesi Kutuah II, but surprisingly, he was called Kwesi Kutuah I. After Kwesi Kutuah was 76 years, Bevika Bevara Ntiri Afful. According to the story, it seems like Afful na only Kpanyinli your door for so case more the senior although drebi and azo. Na case process more royal installation, so he will be like the 8th chief of Nkroful. Ntiri Afful, as it displayed, Ntiri Afful. Now, amazingly, Ntiri Afful then organized 3 months within the 1930. 3 months ye beduri bevi de biezo. Imo yandrazi yanjefe 3 months ye bedu Ntiri Afful bevi biazo. Afful and Zini baba Koafo Eduku. Koafo Eduku ni odanko wa biazo. Odanko 3 months. Mutisania Koafo Eduku ni Afful within the 1913 bedu bemu yobe vizure. With 3 plus 4 ni iye 7 months. Imwenzini ye bevale Ndefo Akpanyi II. Remember I said Ndefo Akpanyi II. He was the founder of Nkroful. Imwenzini benya Ndefo Akpanyi II. Imo odanko adranzola 1914. He only spent 3 months. Odanko bedri. He was destooled. After Ndefo Akpanyi II, the next person who came was Nana Senni Kpanyinli I, Senni Kpanyinli I. He also spent 8 months and he was destooled. Odrazo 8 months. Yebe duribe vibiazo. Odanko from 1914 to 1915. I want to call this what happened. After Senni Kpanyinli I, 8 months la. Baba Kwesi Kutuah II. The second Kwesi Kutuah. The first Kwesi Kutuah ne imo papa obomo. The second one Kwesi Kutuah oduma isu ni duma ansa na oba drebi na azola. Duma ma na ola mbefre akane Kwesi. Akane Kwesi. Akane Kwesi dine bi na azo 7 years 3 months. 7 years 3 months from 1915 through to 1922. And he was also destooled. Odanko beduribe vibiazo. Amazing. Imanzini ye babuso Kpanyinli bi. Odanko befre Kojo Twenebu. Ebi an like chodo danazore. And we say no earlier the buso Kpanyinli de engronju adongonye nana bani ahwemanzuchi odanko bedri after 4 months. Motiabania from 8th chiefing to 13th chief bedu bemuana. Akba the 14th chief more imo ale Kwesi Kutuah motozo nsa. Kwesi Kutuah III. Imo Inglese duma. His English name anaka English name man all befre JB Nze. C'est broflazi tiaba JB Nze. Nze adna zoala. Olu 2 years per vlo pe yoda beduriyo. 9 zemuane isunduma befre ayembre. Isunduma befre ayembre school duma befre JB Nze. Imo yale Kwesi Kutuah motozo nsa. Imo nzine Motia ni idea na from 1923 through to 1925. Odo Dnaza Bedurio. Why this repetitive destoolment? You want to ask why? The why was that between those periods, the colonial masters institute a law which is called the Chief Ordinance Act. This ordinance, the colonial masters' aim was that when the locals elect their own chiefs to rule their towns, they have to be recognized by the political elites who are the colonialists and their structures that they have laid within the native lands. So this enactment, this law, which was enacted in 1904, was to see three basic things. One, that they want to see the election and the installation or the enscrement or the installment of chiefs, that they will follow the right customary installation. Now, after they have elected you properly, for you to be accepted within the political class, within the political systems of the colonial masters, they have to accept you. You have to be confirmed. The confirmation was in this way. After you have been installed or installed in your town, the chief and the elders will write officially to the paramountcy they are paying allegiance to, or they are under 87. They write official letter to him, and that paramount will write officially to the district commissioner at the time, which is now, we can say they are the MCCs or the DCs. Then they will write to their regents, the provisional commissioners. They will write to the governor. Then they will accept you as chief or queen. Without this recognition, you will not play any part in the political class. This very law, which is the Chief Ordinance in 1904, was amended in 1927. And in this amended act, it is no longer a chief act. They became it as an authority. This authority, it was in threefold. The chiefs have been given authority to institute laws. And they were becoming like the autocrats, the ones who say and it is. The second phase of that law, which was the Native Ordinance Act, was that there was judicial systems within the Nzema land or within the various native lands, that the chiefs were to mind the court systems. They were given judicial powers. The third section was that among these ones, you also have to have confirmation from your masters, which are the British at the time, when we are looking at the Nzema area now, because where our focus is now. After 1927, when Ghana had independence in 1957, 1969, thereabout, there was also a law which sort of regulates the chieftaincy. For the first two enactments, the chieftaincy was not independent. So after independence, they want to separate the powers of the chief from governance system or for the political class. That's why we came through 1967, 1972 or 71. There was also an enactment. 1992, there was also a chieftaincy enactment. And 2008, there was also enactment. Why am I going through all these ones? Just to tell you, what was started has been built on. It has been amended and polished to what we have now as the Act 759. That said, having this in mind, what the law seeks to do was that it was to empower the locals, especially non-royals, that if they should write officially to the governor, they should write officially to the DC, they should write officially to the MCEs. The MCE were derogated, they were clothed with some power that they could call on the chief or the paramountcy to investigate any act. If they found that they are guilty, they can institute their destoolment. I hope you are getting the picture. And there was an act also that was like, say, bring back be as well. There are things he should do. If he's not doing these things, he can write to the governor and he can be subpoenaed. And if he's investigated and found guilty, he will be destooled. Mutania is and near Ghana here during the period of 1890 through to the opening of the 1960 before independence. So Nkroful was not spared. After money, yebevale ngenya Senni Kpanyinli motozo nyo. Ngenya Senni Kpanyinli ka motozo nyo ana o safini no. Iksu no duma bafre efuate amo. Senni Kpanyinli II. His house name is Efuate Amo. Efuate Amo no mo nyamre ye adum odre bia na only 14 years. 14 years from 1926 through to 1940. Nenye Efuate Amo ka mo bafre Senni Kpanyinli II. He had a lot of litigations. Most of the court documents that I have, I got from most of his litigations that he litigated with different chiefs and with people in Nkroful, all in the name to protect the stool land of Nkroful. After 14 years, Efuate Amo, Senni Kpanyinli II was destooled. Beduribe de biezo. Nake beduribe vizia bevale Brumiah Twum I. Brumiah Twum I, he will be the 16th chief of Nkroful. But interestingly, Brumiah Twum I, the English name is Albert Mienza Famie. His father comes from Esiema. He was living in Esiema. He was Esiema born and bred. Yeba valmo lili ebia wo Nkroful. Imaka only vim Nkroful. E papa vi Esiema. Na ti o unjo kechiye. Ordinazo 7 years. From 1940 to 1947. Interestingly, within this period, especially 1947 thereabout, and then Dr. Kwame Nkrumah back to Ghana. He played part in the activity of this man. I'll have another video where I'll talk about the role Dr. Kwame Nkrumah played in the Mvevlimo War Nkroful position man no hold before he became the president of Ghana. Moti and better friend Nana Mienza. Nkroful bremu better Nana Mienza. After Nana Mienza Nzine, after 7 years, be duri. Menu be dube come bandans manjet be mu aba Nkroful ken. Moti kuma ofre Efuate Amo mole Senni Kpanyinli II. Man mi so vi se hwini wogala. Bevre back to come back and install a new chief. Motogala don ko vale esu Kwesi wazie bi enazo. As Kwesi Kutuah III. Ordinazo after 1 year. Ye Nana Mienza mo bedui be vi bi azola. One oba ahema. So me say Nana mole Efuate Amo mole Senni Kpanyinli II, the ex-chief ni. Odongu ncho na de no ba si brengulu Nkroful. Kodon ncho de he cannot use his own power without consulting the Queen Mother. He cannot install any chief. Moti bane hwe manzone. Moti manzone zane in 1948, 47-48. If you want more story about the royals of Nkroful, it is by these two legal documents that the two ex-chiefs were face to face in court. I be like can't more for history on my more for history benin for manamwa I'm for as president as the as chiefs of Nkroful when they were narrating the histories. Each one was proving that he knows the history about the town. To obonu ke mienzane imoyankr ale ifuatene. Interesting. Moti after the litigation, the court ruled in favor ke angmanoko as chief mole ifuatiamo mole Senni Kpanyinli II. He cannot himself alone install a chief in Nkroful. So to as we are discussing to like the video, to like the things you are watching, like it. Press the like button. Let me have your questions, your concerns, and what you think you know about the Nkroful chief that I did not mention. You have been told that I didn't talk about. Let's start engaging. Write it on the comment section. And again, share it for others to follow. For interestingly, watch this story. After Beduwe Biazra, the ruling of the court, the traditional court says he gives them 8 days to install a new chief. 8 days. Muti 8 days mo ba makuba ba bring bufufo Biazra. Oba hima ne mani lo no mokara. Badaba yela. Ban konsoto ebia bava, beze bava ex bring mole Albert Mieza famille. Mon bazafra nana Mieza ba ziazubiye kon. In 1948. So from 1948 through to 1956, Abusona muane nana Mieza shene manzoni de. Again ke manela twa manzona. Bane akwamu na muane ko agina ada na ba twa manzon betia nana Mieza ma ke asana betuela ahomuma muari adu hanka bengure. Na say any reasons will be dube vibiazwa, you'll be surprised. They say ahomuma say satoni azra echinwansa. Idone azrebi yanjin wansa. Imara beduyo. Kumbetula be say aso ba adrebia idrebia ye kululuke ayo tu ekake. Motiva kakazan ya ado ahomuma ozuma bletua. Be vuvu han be unke ono no hala odanko be duri. Some frenzy excuses. Ahomuma no say sabatre biazwa. It is your duty to protect the homelands from any chief from invading. Musel Brumraba Nkroful biazo, and you are not protecting the stooler. But two befi biazo. Interesting. Moti bedurira baba nana mieza. Moza ko zarozi wa validuman Brumiah Twum I. Remember, he was the Brumiah Twum II. That was destooled. He came back with Brumiah Twum III. His reign, the second coming, he spent 23 years from 1948 up to 1980. From 1980, yeah, Ahmo Baba Dranzobia, Befra Ndefo, Imanovia Yobo, not the Nigeria. Yeah, Befra Nigeria man, Ovia Yobo, and Yasia Yobo Yala, Basaka Yobo, Canovio. Kenya e papa vio na mama vi ngofro na no de yobo ye hole Nigeria no be friend Nigeria man be friend Echiaka Ndefo na ibi eduma be friend Brumiah Twum motozo na imanzini and Nana Brumiah Twum V Mama isunu be friend Nyamna ye imokransala soldier man and all soldier ye wa ye a hero Nkroful befra nana nyamna ye iso nduma nyamna ye na ibie duma Brumiah Twum V. Imanzini Brumiah Twum V ordinary be around 15 years as is displaying. Then we came to Nana Dumewe. Iso nduma befra Dumewe. Nana Dumewe. Ibi aduma bɛfrɛ Brumiah Twum ma ɔtɔ nsia. Duma wie mo adena so yanje anonyi vi ye ba bɛgare. Oye duma mines ni ye ba bɛgare. Moti wa adena so 4 years pepepe yo hori kranzio. Moti senia from 1948 mo nana mieza adena so bi ekona. Ben double bi ekon. De up to now. Yeah, nana duma wie viri hwan hori ngbanyi elikane wo 2005. The whole of 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2018. Yebeva na namo odi bi azoka akra. Mo imo ibi edum befre Kwesi Kutuah V. Isu no dum befre Kwao Aje anaka Aje. Na ibi edum befre Kwesi Kutuah mo otozo inu. Imo from 2018 up to today, he is the sitting chief of Nkroful. He has mined the stool for 7 years now. We pray that God will give him more grace. So in totality, these are the 22 chiefs that have mined the stool of Nkroful.